So today, let's dive into a pretty fascinating idea, one that might even sound a little backwards at first: the direct, powerful link between your state of mind and, well, the state of your bank account.
Have you ever felt this? I mean, really felt it. The more you worry about money, the more you rush and hustle for it. It almost feels like the faster just slips right through your fingers. It's an incredibly frustrating cycle. And as it turns out, there's a very real reason this happens.
And that right there, that's what we can call the money paradox. It's this weird phenomenon where the harder you chase money out of panic or urgency, the more it seems to avoid you. We're going to break down exactly why this happens and what you can do about it.
What's so interesting is that we usually blame all the wrong things. We tell ourselves, oh, I just have bad luck, or I'm not working hard enough, or maybe even I'm just lazy. But you know what? We're going to just set those myths aside for now. The problem isn't what you think it is.
The real root of the issue isn't something external at all. It's internal. It's all about the state of your mind when you're making decisions, when you're working, and even when you're just thinking about your finances. So, what does this inner state actually look like in the real world? Let's diagnose the main culprit here, which, for our purposes, we can call the restless mind.
A restless mind is basically running on anxiety. It's always worried about what might happen tomorrow. It's constantly looking over its shoulder, seeing what everyone else has, which just fuels that feeling of being behind. And most importantly, every decision it makes comes from this deep-seated fear of scarcity, that nagging feeling of not enough.
And here's where the rubber meets the road. A mind that's in a state of fear makes quick, reactive decisions. This is what leads to those impulse buys to make yourself feel better. You know, that expensive gadget you definitely didn't need. Or maybe it's jumping into a bad business partnership out of sheer desperation. You're so focused on just surviving the next 5 minutes that you literally can't see the clear long-term opportunities that are right in front of your face.
So this brings us to the core idea of this entire explainer. Money isn't just some inanimate object. Think of it more like a form of energy that tends to mirror the energy of its owner.
Just let that sink in for a second. Money behaves like its owner. So if the owner is chaotic, anxious, and totally restless, what do you think their money is going to be like?
This is the first half of a really powerful, unwritten financial law. A restless mind creates restless money. Sure, it might come in, but it leaves just as fast because all the decisions around it are unstable and, frankly, frantic.
And here's the flip side of that coin. A calm, steady mind, well, that leads to lasting money. It creates an environment where money can not only stick around, but actually grow, because it's being managed with clear thinking and stability, not fear.
Okay, so what does this calmness actually mean when we're talking about money? It's definitely not about being lazy or passive. It's a very active state where your choices come from a place of clarity, not fear. Your spending becomes intentional, not just impulsive. And the work you do is driven by a real purpose, not just a frantic need to stay afloat.
So we've figured out the problem and we've defined the solution. But how do we actually make that shift? How do you get from a state of financial fear to one of financial calm?
Let's just imagine two people. The first person is always chasing the next hot tip, trying every get-rich-quick scheme out there. Their energy is just all over the place. Now the second person, they're calm, they're moving forward slowly but consistently, building brick by brick, day by day. Who do you think is going to be in a better spot in the long run?
Here's the crucial point, the thing that challenges almost everything we're taught. We think wealth is about being the smartest, or the fastest, or the hardest working person in the room. But this idea suggests something totally different. Money flows towards stability. It goes to the calmest person.
Okay, let's try something right now. A super simple exercise to figure out where you're at. Just follow along with me. First, take one deep, slow breath. In and out. Now, I want you to honestly ask yourself a question. Think about your recent financial decisions. The job you have, the things you're buying, the investments you're making. Are they coming from a place of calm confidence or from an underlying fear of not having enough?
If you realize that the answer is fear, this is the key takeaway. Your number one job isn't to chase a higher salary or find a new investment. Your first job is to address the state of mind that's driving those fearful decisions in the first place. Fix the mind and the income will follow.
All right, let's bring this all together. Let's wrap it all up into one final, powerful equation that really summarizes everything we've just talked about.
We have to stop thinking of money as something you have to hunt down and capture. It's not.
Instead, start seeing it as a natural result, an outcome of your internal world, your mindset, and the calm clarity that you bring to your life.
This right here, this is the strategy. This is your call to action. You can't put the cart before the horse. Make it your priority to find that internal stability, that sense of calm, and you will create the conditions for money to not just show up, but to actually stick around.
And hey, if you forget everything else we talked about today, just remember this one simple, powerful rule.
Restless mind, restless money. It really is that direct. The state of your finances is a mirror. So the real question is, what is it reflecting back to you?